Are you over 60 and feeling like your energy is slipping, your drive is fading, and no matter how much you rest, you still feel tired? What if I told you that 3 simple vitamins could be quietly stealing your strength and vitality, and most men don't even know they're missing them? Today, I'm going to show you the 3 essential vitamins that every man over 60 needs to protect energy, support performance, and restore vitality. We'll talk about how these vitamins impact testosterone, circulation, brain function, sleep, and even intimacy. The first one I'll cover is often the most shocking, because many of my patients discover they've been deficient for years without knowing it. That's why you need to watch all the way to the end. Missing even one part could mean missing the key that changes everything for you. Also, tell me where you're watching from. Drop your city or country in the comments. I love seeing how many men around the world are taking control of their health after 60. And if you find this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to Glowing Age. It helps me continue to bring you practical, science-based advice that can truly change your life. Now let's get started. The silent energy crisis after 60. You wake up feeling like you barely slept. The simplest tasks drain you. That spark you once had feels dimmer with every passing year. Many men assume this is just what happens after 60. But what if much of this decline isn't inevitable? What if you're facing a silent energy crisis and no one has told you? As we age, our body's natural systems begin to slow down. It's not always because of a specific disease or major illness. It's often far more subtle, rooted deep inside your cells where energy is created. Inside every cell, small structures called mitochondria act like engines, producing the fuel your body needs to function. Over time, these engines lose efficiency. They don't produce energy the way they once did. This is one reason why so many men over 60 experience chronic fatigue, brain fog, and low drive. But mitochondrial decline isn't the only factor at work. Hormonal shifts, especially the natural drop in testosterone, play a significant role in sapping energy and motivation. Testosterone supports not only sexual health, but also muscle strength, mental clarity, and overall vitality. Lower levels of this hormone contribute to reduced stamina, weaker muscles, and even a loss of confidence. There's another layer many overlook: nutrient absorption. As you get older, your digestive system changes. The stomach produces less acid, which reduces your ability to absorb critical vitamins and minerals from food. This isn't because you're eating poorly. You might be eating the same foods you always have, but your body simply isn't pulling the same nutrition from them. It's like trying to run your car on half a tank and wondering why it's stalling. Several essential vitamins that support energy, nerve function, and hormone balance become harder to maintain with age. Deficiencies quietly develop and often go unnoticed. The result? You feel more tired, weaker, and mentally sluggish. These aren't just annoyances, they're warning signs that your body's reserves are running low. Modern life doesn't help. Many men spend more time indoors, getting less natural sunlight, which directly affects vitamin D levels. Processed foods often dominate meals, providing calories but lacking dense nutrients. Even the stress of daily life, caregiving, or financial worries common in retirement can strip the body of key nutrients like magnesium, compounding the fatigue. One study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that more than half of adults over 60 have at least one nutrient deficiency that directly impacts energy metabolism. This doesn't just affect how you feel today. It increases your risk for cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and loss of independence. What's most frustrating for many of my patients is that these symptoms are often dismissed. They're told, "You're just getting older." But I tell them that while aging is natural, suffering through avoidable fatigue is not. When we identify and correct the specific nutrient gaps, I often see dramatic changes. Energy returns, mental sharpness improves, mood lifts, and that sense of drive slowly comes back. This silent energy crisis is widespread but rarely addressed directly. And that's exactly why I focus so much on 3 essential vitamins that have the power to restore energy, performance, and vitality in men over 60. They don't work overnight, but when combined with small lifestyle changes, they can turn back the clock on how your body feels and functions. The good news is that once you understand which vitamins you're missing and how to properly restore them, you gain back control. You're no longer simply reacting to aging, you're actively managing it. Vitamin B12, the energy generator. If I had to choose one vitamin that's most often silently robbing men over 60 of their energy, it would be vitamin B12. It's one of the most overlooked deficiencies I see in my patients. And the reason so many men feel exhausted, mentally foggy, or even depressed may simply be because they're running low on this critical nutrient. Vitamin B12 plays a central role in energy production. It's essential for forming red blood cells, which carry oxygen to your muscles, organs, and brain. Without enough oxygen delivery, your body struggles to produce the energy you need for even simple daily tasks. You feel tired even after a full night's sleep. Simple walks become exhausting. Concentration fades. Some even experience mood swings and anxiety, not realizing that low B12 is part of the problem. But B12's role goes far beyond energy. It's critical for nerve health. Many of my patients with B12 deficiency report tingling or numbness in their hands and feet, a sign that their nerves aren't functioning properly. Over time, prolonged deficiency can cause irreversible nerve damage. That's why catching it early is so important. Unfortunately, as we age, our ability to absorb B12 drops significantly. The stomach needs a strong acid environment and a protein called intrinsic factor to absorb B12 from food. But after 60, many men produce less stomach acid. Certain medications like proton pump inhibitors or even long-term use of antacids can make this problem worse. As a result, even if you're eating enough B12-rich foods, your body may not be absorbing what it needs. Animal products like eggs, red meat, poultry, dairy, and fish are the primary natural sources of B12. But I've seen men who eat these foods regularly still end up deficient simply because their gut can't pull the B12 from what they eat. That's why blood tests are essential. A simple lab panel can reveal whether you're deficient, even before serious symptoms appear. When we catch a deficiency, supplementation becomes necessary. For many older men, oral supplements are enough, but the type matters. I often recommend sublingual B12 supplements because they bypass the digestive system, allowing the vitamin to absorb directly under the tongue into the bloodstream. In more severe cases, we use B12 injections to restore levels quickly. The research on B12 is clear. One study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that nearly 20% of adults over 60 have low B12 levels, with many more borderline deficient. Correcting this deficiency often leads to dramatic improvements: more energy, clearer thinking, better mood, stronger muscles, and improved balance. I've worked with men who thought they were experiencing early dementia, only to see their memory return once their B12 levels were restored. Others who struggled to get through the day found their stamina and motivation improving within weeks of proper treatment. That's how powerful B12 can be. But here's the key. You won't feel better until you know you're deficient. Many doctors don't check B12 levels unless you specifically ask for it. I always encourage my patients over 60 to have their B12 tested regularly, even if they feel generally well. Prevention is always easier than repair. The bottom line is simple. Without B12, your body can't make energy. And as absorption declines with age, paying attention to your B12 levels can mean the difference between feeling exhausted and feeling alive. Vitamin D, the hormone regulator. Most people think of vitamin D as just the bone vitamin. But for men over 60, it's much more than that. Vitamin D acts more like a hormone than a simple vitamin, and for many of my patients, it's the missing link to restoring energy, performance, and even intimacy. One of the most important roles of vitamin D is regulating testosterone levels. As men age, testosterone naturally declines. But low vitamin D levels can accelerate that drop, leading to even lower energy, weaker muscles, loss of motivation, and a sharp decline in intimacy. Several studies have shown a clear correlation between vitamin D deficiency and reduced testosterone production in aging men. Correcting this deficiency can support more stable hormone levels, which play a direct role in energy, strength, and confidence. Beyond hormones, vitamin D affects nearly every system in the body. It helps regulate your immune system, reduces inflammation, supports brain function, and protects your heart. Low levels have been linked to higher risks of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cognitive decline, and even certain cancers. For many men over 60, chronic fatigue is often tied to these underlying issues made worse by vitamin D deficiency. The problem is, vitamin D deficiency is extremely common in seniors. After 60, your skin produces less vitamin D from sunlight. Many older adults also spend more time indoors, avoid direct sun exposure, or live in areas where winter months limit sunlight for long periods. Even when you do get sun, aging skin becomes less efficient at converting UV rays into usable vitamin D, the end result. Your body simply doesn't produce enough on its own. Food sources of vitamin D are limited. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel provide some. Fortified dairy, eggs, and cereals can help, but most men don't get nearly enough from diet alone. This is why so many men I treat require supplementation to maintain healthy levels. The only way to know your vitamin D status is with a blood test. I recommend my patients aim for levels between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter. For many seniors, this requires daily supplementation, often in the range of 1,000 to 2,000 international units, IU, per day, though some may need higher doses based on individual needs and lab results. It's important to work with your doctor to find the right dose, as too much vitamin D can cause problems if taken excessively. What's remarkable is how quickly many men feel better once their levels are restored. I've seen patients regain energy, sleep better, feel mentally sharper, and even notice improvements in their intimate lives, all by simply correcting a deficiency they never knew they had. One man I treated was 68 years old, struggling with fatigue and loss of motivation. His blood work revealed severely low vitamin D levels. Within a few months of proper supplementation, his energy improved dramatically. His mood lifted, and he even told me his relationship with his wife felt stronger because he simply had the energy to engage again. Vitamin D may not grab headlines like fancy supplements or medications, but for men over 60, it's one of the most powerful tools we have for restoring vitality. Without it, the entire system struggles. With it, everything from energy to hormones to intimacy starts working better again. Magnesium, the performance multiplier. If you're over 60 and feeling tired, restless at night, tense, or simply not performing like you used to, there's a good chance magnesium is quietly at the center of it all. Most men never think about magnesium, but it controls over 300 vital processes in your body every single day. And when it's low, which it often is in older men, everything from your energy to your hormones and even your intimate health suffers. Magnesium plays a direct role in energy production. Every cell in your body needs magnesium to create ATP, which is the basic fuel your cells run on. Without enough magnesium, your cells simply struggle to generate energy, leaving you feeling drained no matter how much rest you get. But energy isn't the only place magnesium works. It also helps relax blood vessels and support healthy blood flow. For men, especially those concerned with intimacy, this is critical. Poor blood flow is one of the most common causes of performance issues. Magnesium supports the nitric oxide pathway, helping your blood vessels stay flexible and open. This means better circulation to your heart, brain, muscles, and yes, to intimate areas as well. Magnesium also helps regulate testosterone. Several studies have shown that men with higher magnesium levels tend to have healthier testosterone levels. And as we know, testosterone is central to strength, motivation, mood, and sexual performance after 60. Now let's talk about another key area, stress and sleep. Many older men struggle with poor sleep, anxiety, or restless legs. Magnesium plays a calming role in the nervous system, helping you relax and enter deeper stages of sleep. Better sleep means better energy, sharper thinking, and a stronger immune system. And when you're well rested, your hormones work better, your muscles recover faster, and your mood improves. Unfortunately, magnesium deficiency is extremely common in seniors. Modern diets are often lacking in magnesium-rich foods, and certain medications, like diuretics, acid blockers, and blood pressure drugs, can deplete magnesium even further. The result is a slow, steady loss of this crucial mineral, often without obvious warning signs at first. Natural food sources of magnesium include leafy green vegetables like spinach and kale, nuts and seeds such as almonds and pumpkin seeds, whole grains and legumes. But even a good diet sometimes isn't enough to fully restore levels, especially if absorption is compromised. For many of my patients, supplementation is necessary, but not all magnesium supplements are created equal. I typically recommend magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate for men over 60. These forms are well absorbed, gentle on digestion, and effective at restoring levels without causing loose stools, which can happen with cheaper forms like magnesium oxide. One patient of mine, a 72-year-old gentleman, was struggling with poor sleep, constant fatigue, and anxiety. His magnesium levels were low. After adding magnesium glycinate to his routine and making simple dietary changes, within weeks his sleep improved, his mood stabilized, and his energy returned. He felt years younger simply by correcting this one deficiency. Magnesium might not sound as dramatic as testosterone shots or fancy supplements, but its impact is real and powerful. When you restore magnesium levels, you're not just improving one thing. You're supporting nearly every system in your body that keeps you feeling strong, calm, and capable. Common mistakes and warnings when supplementing. When men over 60 learn how important these vitamins are, B12, D, magnesium, they often rush out and start taking supplements. But this is where many go wrong. Even good supplements, when taken the wrong way, can do more harm than good. That's why I always stress caution, testing, and proper guidance when starting any new regimen. The first mistake I see is oversupplementation. More is not always better. Vitamins like B12 and magnesium are water-soluble, which means your body generally flushes out the excess. But vitamin D is fat-soluble. This means it builds up in your body over time. Taking too much can lead to toxicity. High vitamin D levels can cause calcium buildup in your blood, leading to kidney stones, bone pain, or even heart problems. That's why you should always check your blood levels before starting high doses of vitamin D and retest regularly. The second mistake is taking the wrong form of the vitamin. Not all supplements are created equal. Cheap drugstore brands may use low-quality forms that your body can't absorb well. For example, magnesium oxide is often sold because it's cheap, but it's poorly absorbed and often causes digestive upset. Magnesium glycinate or citrate, on the other hand, is much gentler and better absorbed, especially for older adults. The same goes for B12. Many common multivitamins use cyanocobalamin, which is harder for some people to convert into its active form. Methylcobalamin or hydroxycobalamin are usually better choices, especially for seniors. The third mistake is skipping blood testing entirely. You can't fix what you don't measure. Many men assume they're deficient based on symptoms alone, but symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, or poor sleep can come from many causes. Without proper blood work, you may end up taking supplements you don't need while missing others that you do. Every man over 60 should have regular blood tests that include B12, vitamin D, magnesium, testosterone, and basic metabolic panels. The fourth mistake is ignoring drug interactions. Many common medications prescribed for seniors can affect nutrient levels or interact with supplements. For example, blood pressure medications like diuretics can deplete magnesium and potassium. Acid reducers can lower stomach acid, reducing B12 absorption. Even some cholesterol-lowering drugs can interfere with vitamin D metabolism. This is why it's critical to review your full medication list with your doctor or pharmacist before adding supplements, to avoid dangerous interactions. And finally, many men focus on supplements while neglecting their diet and lifestyle. Supplements should fill gaps, not replace good nutrition. No pill will fix a poor diet, chronic stress, or a sedentary lifestyle. Without daily movement, balanced meals, proper sleep, and stress management, even the best supplements won't deliver their full benefits. One of my patients once told me, "I thought I could just take a few pills and feel young again." But when we combined the right supplements with small daily habits, that's when the real changes began: better energy, stronger intimacy, sharper mind, and better overall health. Supplements are tools, Powerful tools when used wisely, dangerous when used blindly. The secret is not taking more, but taking exactly what your body needs in the right form and under proper guidance. Lifestyle habits that maximize vitamin absorption. Even with the right supplements, your body's ability to use these vitamins depends heavily on your daily habits. Over the years, I've seen many men who take the right nutrients but still struggle because they neglect the simple lifestyle factors that make the biggest difference. If you want these vitamins to truly work for you, your habits must support their absorption and function. First is your diet. The body absorbs many vitamins more efficiently when they're taken with certain foods. For example, vitamin D is fat-soluble, which means it needs healthy fats to be absorbed properly. Taking your vitamin D supplement alongside meals that include foods like avocados, olive oil, eggs, or fatty fish allows your body to use it more effectively. The same principle applies to magnesium. A diet rich in leafy greens, nuts, seeds, legumes, and whole grains naturally provides additional magnesium and works synergistically with supplements. Next is movement. Regular physical activity helps every system in your body work more efficiently, including how your body processes and utilizes vitamins. Exercise improves blood flow, hormone balance, and even your digestive system's ability to absorb nutrients. You don't need to spend hours in the gym. Simple, consistent activities like daily walking, light resistance training, or swimming are enough to create powerful long-term benefits. Studies have shown that men who engage in moderate daily exercise have higher testosterone levels, stronger bones, and better overall vitality. Sleep is another critical factor. Poor sleep can throw your hormones out of balance, raise stress hormones, and reduce your body's ability to properly regulate vitamins and minerals. Magnesium, for example, works closely with your nervous system to promote deep, restful sleep. Without good sleep, your body struggles to repair itself, and no amount of supplementation can fully replace what restorative sleep provides naturally. Managing stress is equally important. Chronic stress depletes magnesium and disrupts your hormone system. It raises cortisol, which can suppress testosterone and contribute to fatigue, weight gain, and mood swings. Incorporating stress-reducing practices like deep breathing, meditation, time in nature, or even simple daily quiet time can lower cortisol and allow your nutrients to do their job more effectively. Another habit that's often overlooked is hydration. Proper hydration supports digestion, nutrient absorption, and blood circulation. Dehydration can quietly impair how your body uses vitamins, especially magnesium and B12, both of which play roles in your nervous system and energy production. And finally, consistency. The body thrives on routine. Sporadic supplementation or lifestyle changes won't deliver long-term results. The men I see making the most progress are the ones who commit to small daily habits, not extreme short-term efforts. One patient of mine simply started walking every morning, added magnesium glycinate, improved his diet slightly, and prioritized better sleep. 6 months later, his energy, mood, and intimacy had completely transformed. Not because of one big change, but because of steady, consistent action. The truth is, no vitamin works in isolation. Your body is an interconnected system. Supporting one area helps support them all. With the right nutrients, backed by the right habits, men over 60 can reclaim energy, strength, confidence, and quality of life they thought was lost forever. You see, aging doesn't mean giving up your energy, your strength, or your confidence. With the right vitamins, proper habits, and simple daily choices, you can support your body, restore your drive, and feel strong again, even after 60. The men who thrive at this stage aren't lucky. They're consistent. They take the right steps, and it starts with knowing exactly what your body needs. If this video gave you new insight, please like the video. And make sure you subscribe to Glowing Age so you don't miss future lessons that will keep you strong, sharp, and thriving for years to come. Thank you for trusting me to be part of your journey.